Welcome back, and if you're new, I'm glad I caught you. This is the Anytime, Anywhere podcast where you're liable to hear anything at any time. So don't be alarmed. It's going to be what it's going to be. As long as I'm being me, that's all I can be. I'm your host, Jew. Some know me by my first name, Jaleesa. But today's topic, we're going to be touching on first time podcasting. Shit. And just second guessing yourself. Like, I've recorded so many different podcasts, topics, long-winded conversations surrounded around different topics, personal life, a little bit of politics, spirituality for sure, and just growth within itself and this journey, this human experience, being a spirit, having a human experience. God damn, like, it's a lot, y'all. Even just something as simple as making an intro, which I'm not going to downplay and say is simple. However, we can pick over the littlest things when it comes to ourselves and things that we're creating or things that we're doing. So this isn't going to be a long podcast or a long intro or whatever you want to call it. I recorded an episode this morning, and this is why it's called the Anytime Anywhere podcast, because I'm currently in traffic, but don't worry, I'm being safe. Okay? I've been driving for a long motherfucking time now. Who said that? Oh, on Players Club. She was like, I've been taking care of myself for a long motherfucking time now. I think that's how she said it. Anyway, that was the cousin that was getting into shit. It was like, orange y'all, let me out. That's a running joke between me and one of my sisters. Shout out to you, sissy. Love you. Shout out to all my sisters. But if you've been around us, then you've heard us say that before. Alright, y'all, let me out. But yeah, like, when it comes to podcasts, and I can't fully remember what I was touching on, but just when it comes, not just podcasting, let me rephrase that. When it just comes to being creative, producing anything, from small things to large scale projects, when it just comes to producing things, we can be our own biggest critic. A lot of the times, those voices in our head are very much our own, but they also come from years of knowing that other people have spoken to us like that, and we start to internalize that and question every single thing we do. We compare ourselves to other podcasters, other teachers, other yoga gurus, other spiritualists, just other rappers, artists, creatives, whatever you want to call yourself, whatever it is that you do, other cooks, other musicians, other hairstylists, other barbers, other parents, other sisters, regardless of what your roles are in the present moment while you're in that position, we can tend to question ourselves and compare ourselves to the next person that's doing the same thing, something similar, or just what society says each thing should look like. Listen, life would be boring as hell if we all did the same shit, which is why now a lot of people are bored with fucking life. Like, why people are not content with what's going on in the world as a collective is because it's a lot of cookie cutter shit going on. And I was someone during different parts of my life where I would compare myself to the next person and try to replicate what they were doing. Like, put my own spin on it, but at the same time, a lot of it was heavily what somebody else was already doing. And it never worked out because that person was already doing it. Like, it was already this person talking this way about this topic in this tone with this, not necessarily with this face, but you know how on TikTok the girlies are talking about how everybody's makeup is looking the same, how everybody's dressing the same. Now, I was someone who went with the trends, but I always put my spin on it. And when I say went with the trends, I'm just meaning, like, if they selling it in a store, I probably copped it. Like, when office wear was the thing to wear to the clubs, I got the tail end of that. So, yeah, I'm dressed in business casual with a little bit of Nicki Minaj sprinkled in there, with a little bit of with a little bit of everything. Oh my gosh, like Taz Angel's fucking Keisha Kayor lipstick. Like, I touched on a lot of trends that were heavy during different times, but I always put my own spin on it. You know what I'm saying? However, you can still fall into the entrapment of looking like everyone else, doing what everyone else is doing, sounding like everyone else. And I feel like the reason why we get caught up in that is because we see what's selling. We see what people are taking to. We don't give ourselves the chance to show up as our unique selves to see if people will take to it or not. I mean, honestly, the fact that we're doing it for other people to take to it is kind of like operating from our ego, I feel. Yeah, because who cares? Are you doing it for people or are you doing it for the Most High? Who are you doing it for? Are you answering a calling or are you trying to appease the masses? A lot of the things you're going to do, the masses won't like any fucking way. Especially if you're someone who is very unique, who stands on their own. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of things you do, many people won't relate to. But at the same time, we're all on this journey together. We all have a lot of similarities. So it's really up to the viewer, the listener, whether they're going to catch on or not, whether they feel like they relate or not. You know, that's not for me to say. It's just my duty to show up in my most authentic self without biting off the next person or feeling like I gotta water myself down and sound like this or be very animated like somebody else when I could just be animated like myself. I can show up like myself. I can stutter. I can stumble upon my words. Those who's meant to hear it, they're gonna hear it. Those who are meant to relate and understand, they're gonna understand and relate with no question. You don't know how many times I've listened to someone or watched something and they speak in my language. But for a lot of people, they in the comments like, oh my gosh, this made my head hurt. I'm going to need you to put it in chat GPT and rephrase your question or rephrase your statement because this is some bullshit. It was hard for me to listen to, blah, 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 blah. It was hard for you to listen to, but you sat there and listened to the whole fucking thing. Now, I can see if you were trying to pick out the understanding and give this person a chance, but you came into the comments to tell them how painstakingly, yeah, because their opinions smell like doodle, like, what? No, but how painstakingly, it was for you to get through it. Nobody's begging you to give a listen, huh? Like, nobody's begging for your attention. Nobody's begging for your time. That's why I always thank people when they tune in, when they watch something, when they buy something, when they consume something that I produce. I appreciate it because it is an energy exchange. But at the same time, I'm normally giving off something positive, or I'm giving something from a positive space from within me, from my soul, that I got from the Most High. It's not even mine, for real. I'm just a vessel. So if I'm giving something with pure, genuine, positive intention, and you're giving me back bullshit energy, I mean, it's an exchange of energy, but it's not an equal exchange. Like, at least give me a like because you listened to it. You know what I'm saying? I gave something, you give something back. But not just anything. Make sure it's balanced. Make sure it makes sense. Make sure it's equal. Like, some people just go out of their way to disagree, to misunderstand you. And that's exactly why you should just show up as your most authentic self. That's exactly why you're supposed to silence the naysayers. Silence your own voices on the inside that's telling you you're not good enough, that's telling you gotta re-record. Now, no funny shit. The podcast episode I recorded this morning, definitely gotta do that shit over again. It was just too much. This is the Anytime, Anywhere podcast. However, it wasn't up to my standards. Now, I've talked to myself with compassion about needing to do it over again. we've all of us, yes, all of us, all of me, all of me's have come to an understanding that, okay, this was good. However, I really like this topic, and we're just gonna re-record it. It's okay. There's no need to talk down on ourselves or say, "Oh, I knew you stupid," or whatever. Just go crazy on ourselves about what didn't work. We review, we see what didn't work, we go back to the drawing board. If it's not worth it, then I'm not going to do it. But for me, it's worth it because it's something that I'm creating, and it's something that I really want to put out. It's something that I want to share because I feel like other people can relate, and not just because of that. That's secondary. First of all, it's because I want to put it out. I want to talk about it. I want to get it out. I don't want it to just be thoughts that are rummaging through my head. And that's pretty much why I wanted to start a podcast. Not to debate with people. Not to, sound like I got it all. And I'm just somebody with, like, a booty hole. Everyone got one. There's some people that don't have booty holes. But anyways, TMI, not just because I have a voice and I could put it out. There's a few different reasons why I want to share my voice, why I want to share what I have to say, why I want to share my thoughts, And the first few reasons don't have anything to do with anyone else. It's all about me. Call it self-centered, call it being egotistical, but I'm also answering to the Most High while doing so. Like, me and the Most High locked in. Like, listen, that's homie, that's everything. That's mother, father, energy, that's everything. Everything you think you need in this world, when it comes to a confidant and just someone you can confide in and all of those good things, the Most High is that. So, yeah, I just want to leave y'all with that. I ain't want this intro to be too long. I just wanted to introduce myself again. My name is Jew. I go by Jew, but you can call me Jaleesa as well. That's my giving name. Shout out to my family for giving me that name. But yeah, this is the Anytime Anywhere podcast where you're liable to hear anything at any time. Goddamn. You're liable to hear anything at any time. And I'm just being me, man. I'm just being me. If anything I said resonated with you, be sure, because you don't want to miss out, be sure to like this episode. Subscribe if you feel moved to subscribe. Again, equal exchange of energy. Subscribe. And meet me back here. Don't be late. Meet me back here. I don't know when we're going to be here, but you're going to be here when it's time to be here. So I trust that you'll be here. I trust that you'll be here. And after you like, and after you subscribe, the least you could do is love yourself always and always. Until next time. Bye. Mwah.